welcome back to my channel. So today is now day 3 of Summerween. If you missed it, I have my first Summerween vlog already posted. I am vlogging for every couple of days of the readathon. All you need to know is I left off that vlog starting Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. So let's just get into this Summerween vlog.
Every house has a story to tell and a secret to share.
Alright, coming at you looking like a grease ball. Oh my god, it looks so bad right now. Oh my god, I cannot start the vlog like this. Anyways, I finished Home Before Dark this morning. I definitely liked it more than Lock Every Door, but I feel very similarly to this book as I did Lock Every Door, and also to why I DNF'd Final Girls. I don't know if I've actually said my history with Riley Sager. So I DNF'd Final Girls, and then I read Lock Every Door a few years ago, and I gave that 3 stars. All 3 of those, I feel almost the exact same way about them. The reason why I'm just not the biggest fan of his books is because I have watched so many movies with these exact same plots. There's nothing really unique about them, which that's fine. Not everything has to be like the most unique ever, but it does kind of spoil the story for me because then I already know like what the twists are, where the story's going. Nothing is very surprising. I can see why he's super popular because I feel like his books are kind of just like easy popcorn kind of reads. Like there's nothing particularly special about them. Oh my god, that sounds so, I'm not trying to be rude. That sounds so rude. I'm saying I get why he's so popular because I feel like his books are like, they're just really easy and there's nothing super like complicated about them. However, I feel like if you are a fan of horror movies to the level that I am, like have watched so many horror movies, you've already read his books. Like you've already seen movies that he pulls inspiration for all of his books from. So that was my problem with Lock Every Door. It was just like a story that I'd seen so many times in horror movies, and I like figured out what was going on super early on, and it was like I don't feel like it did anything unique or special. And I feel the same way about this one. However, this one I thought was more entertaining than Lock Every Door. So I think I'm gonna give this one 3.5 stars. And I don't know if I will pick up any of his other books. Y'all will have to let me know if maybe his like newer releases, like the one that just came out, what's it called? The one with like the house that's on top of like a cliff. I forget what it's called. Y'all will have to let me know if that one is less like predictable or basic or whatever. I will say though, I really liked the book within a book aspect of Home Before Dark. I think that is why I really enjoyed it more than Lock Every Door. So I don't know, I think I would give him another chance, but I feel like maybe he's just not the author for me. I think I want something a little bit short to read today because I'm doing my Patreon book club live today, and we are doing a movie night where we are watching Cabin in the Woods, one of my favorite horror movies. So I don't want to start something long. The books that I have left on my TBR are all like 14-hour audiobooks. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scroll through Libby right now and see what horror audiobooks are just available to check out that are under 9 hours. Sign Here? I have that. I do want to read that. Oh, The Sacrifice by Rin Chupeco. Oh my god, I totally forgot that I have that book. I just read a Rin Chupeco book that was 5 stars last month, Silver Under Nightfall. Hold on, okay. I have this book somewhere. Where is it? Let's go find it. Skimming through my unread horror books, I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it there. Okay. Young adult shelves here on the bottom. Nope, don't see it there. Okay, here is a box of the only books that I haven't unpacked yet since I moved into this house, just because I didn't have any more shelf space for them. This is the last place it could be if I have it. So let me look through here. No. Okay, it's not there. I'm just looking on the outside. It's not there. No. Oh no. No. Oh my god! We found it! Book has been acquired. I think I'm gonna read this today. Ooh! Oh my god. Okay, it's about a haunted island in the Philippines that is rumored to be home to a god waiting to grant unimaginable powers in exchange for 8 sacrifices. And a Hollywood film crew comes to that island to document the evidence, and they convince a local teen to be their guide. Within minutes of their arrival, a giant sinkhole appears, revealing a mummified corpse entwined in the branches of a tree. And when the crew starts seeing strange visions, oh my god, this sounds so good. And I love Rin Chupeco. Like I said, I just read Silver Under Nightfall last month, which I gave 5 stars, and I read a lot of Rin Chupeco's YA books. Oh my god, I'm very excited for this. I completely forgot that I had this. Loki got very, very upset this morning because some Jehovah's Witnesses came to our door and they would not leave. And he was very upset about it. I didn't answer the door. I never answered the door. But they just like kept knocking and knocking and knocking. I think because they could hear that I was home because I was watching Love Island. And he was very unhappy about it, as he should be. How rude of them to interrupt our relaxing Love Island morning. I have a bunch of book packages here that we will open up, but first I have a little book update for the 2 books that I've been reading. So I've made more progress in Man-Made Monsters. I've read the first like 100 pages, and I will say that this section of short stories I didn't love as much as the first 2. A lot of these were actually super short, like 2-page stories. I think there was like 4 in a row that were all like just a couple pages. I will say, like, still loving the writing. I think that as we're getting deeper into the family tree, my one big complaint is that it's a little bit hard to follow where in the family tree you're going. Like, you really, really have to go back to the tree and like look at it and find like who you're following now, because the stories don't tell you that. So you kind of have to be paying attention to like names and characters. You just have to pay attention a lot more than I think I have been. So this section I didn't really love, but I can see we're getting to some more of the longer stories. I think I'll probably like the longer stories better. So I'm still like overall enjoying it. And then I'm halfway into The Sacrifice and I'm really enjoying this. So like I mentioned, this takes place in the Philippines, where there is this island with a cave that has legends of a god, where if you make 8 sacrifices to this god, you will be granted like supernatural powers. And this film crew goes there to film a documentary about the island, but none of the natives on the island want anything to do with them, obviously, because it's like a bunch of white people going, being very disrespectful of the island and the culture. So they get this one teenage boy who is sort of known to have a connection to the island, and like the only person who actually goes there. They get him to be like their tour guide. As they're starting the tour, this big sinkhole opens up in the ground, and in this, like down in the sinkhole, is this balata tree, I think is how you pronounce it, which is one of those trees, like all of these like interconnected vines, and connected in like the branches is like a mummified corpse, and it almost looks like the tree is growing out of this dead body. So it's very creepy. I'm really enjoying it so far. Okay. Now for my packages. So firstly, I have a book that was sent to me by my friend Avery, who was so sweet and got me a copy of Sea of Ruin, which was one of my favorite romance books, and she got it signed for me from Pam Godwin. I'm just like so happy to have this in my collection. This is like one of my all-time favorite romance books, so this is going on my like super coveted special edition, the books that I would literally save in a fire shelf. Then I got one book from Pango, and that is Heir of Novaron, which is the 3rd bind up in the Rhaeria Revelations. I read the first one, Theft of Swords, a couple months ago, and I already have the 2nd bind up. I needed the 3rd because I'm planning on finishing up this series pretty soon. I'm gonna be doing like a sequels readathon. This is one that I would like to finish up. And then I have a package from Amazon, which has one book in here that I might actually read this week, and I'm so excited for this. It is Briar Dark by S.A. Harrion. This is one of the books that when I did my video where I had my subscribers recommend books and like recommend their favorite books, this was one that was recommended, and it sounded so good. It's a horror book about like a crew of an expedition. 30 miles into the desolate Deadswitch wilderness, they discover a missing hiker dangling from a tree, and their satellite phone fails to call out. Then the body vanishes without a trace. In here there's like different phone call transcripts, an excerpt from like a book. There's just like different like mixed media elements in here. I don't know, it sounds like it's gonna be totally the type of horror that I love. So I think I'm gonna try to read this during Summerween. And then the other book that I got, the main book that I was like ordering because the wait at my library was so long, is Inkblood Sister Scribe by Emma Torres. The synopsis of this sounds so good. It says, two estranged half-sisters tasked with guarding their family's library of magical books must work together to unravel a deadly secret at the heart of their collection. A tale of familial loyalty and betrayal in the pursuit of magic and power. It just sounds so great. So that is my little haul for today. I just finished up my book club discussion with my patrons, and we're about to do a movie night. We're gonna watch Cabin in the Woods, which is one of my all-time favorite horror movies, just because of like how iconic and funny it is. I'm so excited. I love watching this movie with people who have never seen it before, because I just feel like if you've never watched it, you cannot know what you're about to experience, and it's just a really fun time. So I'm very excited that we're watching that. So I think I'm gonna go get some snacks and then get all cozy and set up in bed.
This is awesome.
It is kind of cool. You gonna kill us a raccoon to eat?
All right, so I finished watching Cabin in the Woods with my patrons, and I just love that movie so much. It's like so silly and unserious, and I love that about it. Like, I love horror that leans more like silly comedy, and I feel like that's one that does it well, where it's like not stupid, it's like a fun movie, and I just love the whole world and the lore of it. Oh my god, it's so good. So now I'm gonna go back to The Sacrifice, and I think I'm gonna try to finish that before I go to sleep tonight. If anyone is wondering why I blow dry and straighten my hair, it's because this is what we're working with here. It's giving Hagrid. The problem is that my hair is curly. I have just been killing it my whole life. And so in order to actually get it to a place where like the curls are actually going to be good, it would take so much work, and I'm just lazy to my core. Have I just been staring at this for too long, or does it actually look kind of nice? No, it doesn't. I'm deluding myself. Okay, back to Taylor Swift and tame this beast. Much better. Oh my god, I'm very curious to hear what I sounded like while I was doing that, because in my head I'm Taylor Swift. Oh my god. I'm editing this video right now, and this is so embarrassing. I actually need you guys to hear what I sounded like. I think I'm gonna regret putting this on the internet, but I truly believe that I need to be humbled, because I really thought I sounded like Taylor Swift. I really thought I was killing it, and girl is tone deaf. Get ready to cringe. I'm gonna play a little clip of me singing with my headphones on, truly believing that I am Taylor Swift. I'm so sorry. Give me with those green eyes, baby, as the lights go down. Give me something that'll haunt me when you're not around. It is now day 4 of Summerween, and I'm on my way to Barnes & Noble with my mom, and we might also go to Home Goods and maybe some other places. But reading updates, last night I finished The Sacrifice by Rin Chiapecco, and I think I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars, 4 stars. The ending was the ending was crazy. I did not see the ending coming. I feel like it was a 5-star ending, but the middle of the book I just did not really care about, and I also did not like any of the characters except for the main character, which was like kind of the point, because all the characters sucked. It just made it like I didn't really care about anyone or anything. This morning I started that Briar Dark book, which is so good. It really has like Blair Witch vibes, where it's about this crew who are going to explore this glacier, and so they go into this forest, and then while they're in there, things start happening and changing, and they find a corpse that then like disappears, and their maps are suddenly no longer accurate, and they're like stuck there. So it's, like I said, very Blair Witch vibes. Really enjoying that. So I will try to finish that up later today. But for now, I will take you guys along shopping with me, and I'm hopefully gonna find some books at Barnes & Noble to read during the readathon. I am looking for one book in particular, so we will see if they have that. I just got home. Oh my god, I've been gone for so long, but I had a really great day with my mom. I found so much great stuff. So let's start with what I got at Barnes & Noble. They had the book that I went there to find, which was Carmilla, specifically this edition of Carmilla, which is edited by Carmen Marie Machado, who I've read a couple of her books before, and so I really wanted this specific edition where she has annotations throughout the book. I have always wanted to read this because it is like the original vampire story. It's about sapphic vampires. However, I've always been hesitant because the author was a gigantic homophobe, and from what I know, he actually wrote this book as like anti-lesbian propaganda, which the irony that he wrote it as anti-lesbian propaganda and it's now like an iconic sapphic lesbian vampire story, I just think that's really funny. But I really wanted to read this specific edition because I just feel like it will probably benefit from having been edited and annotated by a lesbian author instead of just, you know, a homophobe. And it also has illustrations inside, which are very beautiful. Like, very excited to read this. It's super short, so I feel like this might be a good one to read like when I'm reading in the dark or reading at night. I feel like I could read it in one sitting. They had a couple other books that I thought looked interesting, but nothing that I really wanted to get, so I didn't get any other books. Then my mom and I went to Home Goods and I found so much stuff. I've been wanting some glasses for my iced coffee that I drink in the morning, and I found these like recycled glasses that were really cute, and they were only $7 for a set of 4, but they look like this. I don't know, they were just really nice, and they're like the perfect size for my coffee in the morning. I found tons of artwork to make a big gallery wall up here. The first one that I found, I was literally shocked when I saw this because it immediately looked like my all-time favorite book character, Veronica Speedwell. Like, okay, let me show you this. So here it is, this Victorian lady, but there's all these butterflies all over it, and I was like, tell me that's not Veronica Speedwell, Little Miss Butterfly Scientist. So I was like, okay, I have to get that. And then I saw that they had tons of artwork from this one artist, Sapna Shah, and I really just like love her stuff. So I got a lot of it. There's this one, which I just really liked, the flowers. Then we have this one, which is super interesting. It's, oh, I'm gonna have to film like different like close-ups of all of these to show you, but this one is like this really long painting of these ships. In the close-up, it's just like the details are so beautiful. And then the last one that I got is this landscape of this tree, this like blossom tree. I think it's a cherry blossom. It looks like a cherry blossom. I'm not sure. I also recently, my dad got me this really big painting from an estate sale that I feel like will go with all of these. So I'm thinking of doing just like a big gallery wall up here above my couch, and I feel like all of these are just gonna look so good. I'm so excited. All right, I have a bit more of reading updates. I wanted to give a better review of this book because I was just kind of doing it like off the cuff in the car with my mom. I enjoyed it, but my issue with it was because all of the characters except for the main character pretty much are like, you're not rooting for them. It just made it like the stakes not as high because I was like, I don't care if any of these people die. But the ending of this book, like I mentioned earlier, the ending is so good. Oh my god, the ending is so good. So I do recommend it if you like YA horror. I definitely feel like the ending of this book was worth it, and I just think it's very interesting. And Rin Shipeko is actually from the Philippines, so having it be set in the Philippines with a Filipino main character, I just found very interesting, and I don't actually know if I've ever read a book that was set in the Philippines, so that was cool. More reading updates from the day. I did something. I was convinced by my patrons, Emily and Kaylee, to pick up this Viking Omegaverse book. Here, let me show you the cover. I was like, I'm just gonna read the first chapter and see how I feel about it. Here's the cover. Love the vibes. I'm now halfway into it. It's so good. Like, I have barely even gotten to the romance part of the book because I guess this is like a very long series and it's all following like the same romantic couple. So the first like 200 pages, 150 pages of this book is really setting up the world, but the world building and the plot is so good. Sorry you all came here for Summerween, but now I'm gonna talk about a Viking Omegaverse romance. It's so interesting, and I'm just loving it. I'm having a great time with that. I won't talk about it too much because like y'all are here for Summerween, but I'm just having a great time with that. And like, as just kind of like a fantasy-ish historical book, it's so good. And then now the romance is like heating up. Oh, I'm loving it. But I think now I am gonna go back to reading more of Briardark because that was getting super interesting. It's really, I already said this, it was really reminding me of Blair Witch Project, but also The Ritual, which is another movie that I really like. Both movies where like a group of people go into a forest and then the forest like traps them in there and they can't find their way out. It's very much that vibe and I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so I think this is where I'm gonna end this Summerween vlog because I'm getting really tired. I will update you guys in the next vlog with how Briardark is going. If you are watching this while Summerween is still going on, let me know what you are reading for the readathon, specifically if you have read any 5 stars. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!